welcome. Charlotte O'Trumba Show. My name is Charlotte. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a minute. It's been definitely a week, possibly a week and a couple days since I last joined you in your ears or over video. And I feel like that's partly because it's just been like a month. Am I right? And I wasn't even in DC, nor at the Capitol, obviously. Can't even imagine if you like lived in DC or were working in the Capitol that day, what that must have been like. But anyway, not here to talk about that. Just here to be like, it's been an emotional roller coaster this month. And I don't know about you, but it feels like election time, or it felt like election time where the news was on 24/7 and I had like 2 screens going, 3 screens going, like laptop, computer, TV, checking every single news site about latest developments like a freaking madwoman. Like, as if, like, and then texting people play-by-plays of what's happening on the Senate and House floor. Like, Charlotte, nobody wants your updates, is basically what they were thinking. Like, I'm sure everybody wanted to go to bed or do work, but nope, I was there to tell them what was going on. And yeah, so anyway, it felt disingenuous to come on and do like a light show, or a show that's supposed to be fun and funny, when I was not feeling fun nor funny nor light. Not light and bright. So anyway, I think, now things have settled a bit. As with everything, there's always another news story that you can watch and be aggravated by. But you know what? Just gonna shed myself of that for right now. I'm just gonna be like those people that are like, oh, what's on the news? What's going on? What? How nice that must be to have your life just be not affected. To not have to watch, to not have to worry. Anywho, in other news, in the time break, I now officially have some haters, guys. Don't worry. Or not haters, but I got some, comments, One was a comment that literally said, "Why the F is this on my feed?" And I was like, oh my god, thank you so much for watching. So kind. Thanks for commenting. Like and subscribe. Check out my link tree. Hashtag blessed. And then I got another one that was a very adult woman, like in her 50s or 60s. That I guess thought my post about my previous show with Patrick was posted on the day of the riots, which if you would just look at the date, it usually just says the date right under the photo. You could see that it was posted 2 days prior. But no, she and her furious fingers went to town commenting on my post. Yeah, so that was, that was cool, to feel that. Anyway, just feeling like a star out here. I got 2 hateful comments. I'm crushing it. I'm stirring the pot. I'm a controversial figure. Look out. Wow, is it time for my E True Hollywood story yet? Thank you. Wow, what a throwback. Seriously? Oh God. And this is only gonna be for like, you know, I feel like that was a 90s or 2000s thing. Like anybody who's too young will not even know, but basically E True Hollywood story, they were like half hour or an hour of like some celebrity's life and you could just eat it up. It was so juicy. You got all the info you needed. You didn't have to stalk anybody on social media. You just got it all. Ugh, the good old days. Speaking of the good old days, a couple weeks ago, I went snowtubing. I admittedly probably would not have gone on my own accord, but it was my friend Becca's birthday. Shout out Becca. And I was like, oh yeah, of course I'll go snowtubing. And then was like, oh, I have to go snowtubing. Fully doubted the entire experience. I was like, oh God, I have to like get up and I have to like drive and I have to dress warmly to like, you know, go down to Bunny Hill essentially. Like I basically thought it was gonna, like you were gonna have to kind of like push yourself and try to get some speed and like hike up the hill and try to have fun. So, and then of course when I went, I was like slightly hungover. So I was already on my way feeling like, why am I doing this? But obviously it was my friend and I was like, I'm so excited. And I was excited to see her, but I was like not excited to like do the snowtubing part. So we drive there and it's in, it was at Camelback Mountain in Pennsylvania, which also if you live in New York City, was a very easy drive. It was an hour and a half from the west side. Would recommend. And then you get there and you get your check-in time and like a ticket or whatever. Easy parking, love that. Love easy parking. You know you're getting old when you are worried about the parking situation. Where am I gonna park? Do I have to drop off? Do I have to pay? Like blah blah. No, easy. I think you did have to pay. It was like $5 or $10, but it wasn't bad and you could do it through Venmo. Okay, great. And which I wonder if it means like you just could have like not paid. Nobody would have said anything. Okay, whatever, not gonna think about it. And then it was, you get your thing, you get your tube and you go onto this mat that takes you up so you don't have to walk. Phew. Step one, down. And then you get to the top and you go fast. I mean, I was screaming the entire way down. Also, I did a double tube with Lon, my boyfriend. So when I say I was screaming the whole time, I mean I was screaming in Lon's ear the whole time, which he loved. I mean, what gets you going than a piercing scream right on your ear? And woo! Have not felt a rush like that in months. You know, I mean, during COVID, you get that nice rush of anxiety every hour, you know, which is, you know, great. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I'm living. I feel like I'm just on edge at all times. This is what life is about. To just be fearful. To just be fearful about life and the state of our country and the world. Will we all survive? Who knows? Is it a Simpsons episode? Probably. But you know, I could set that all aside and remind myself what I could feel and get that rush of energy in the pit of my stomach that was fun. That was joyful. Yeah, so I'd recommend it. Would recommend the experience. 10 out of 10. Actually, 9 out of 10 because there were like people there, which, you know, you got to deal with people. But everybody was wearing masks. And, I mean, except for the occasional, like, you know, rando. But for the most part, I did not feel unsafe, let's put it that way. And you're outside, and you kind of have to stay far apart from other people because you have these big tubes. Great. We love that. I think it also just made me want to start doing more outdoor activities. Like when it was warmer, you know, you could go for walks and you could go for hikes. You know, now it's like a little too cold to go for a run or walk outside. I'd be down to maybe try a hike, and then I definitely, you know, want to go skiing, but it's like tough to, you know, you gotta like rent a place, blah, blah. But Camelback was just an hour and a half ride away. This is just one long ad for Camelback. I mean, I kid you not. We were driving around, we were like, wow, we didn't know this was here. Wow, Camelback, wow, just an hour and a half drive outside the city, easy parking. We aged 40 years getting there. Oh, speaking of aging, so I'm still on TikTok. Do I post videos? No. Do I consume videos like a starving child at dinner? Yes, I do. I'll be like, oh yeah, I just need a break. And I don't even realize it. I feel like I like black out and I've watched like an hour of TikTok videos. It's so bad. But what happens is like you get down these rabbit holes, or like you can't choose your rabbit hole. So I don't even know if it'd be a rabbit hole, but you can like start going down one side of TikTok. And then before you know it, you're like, well, it says like, welcome to tarot TikTok. And you're like getting a reading for your life. And they're like, this just found you. We didn't use any hashtags. This message was meant for you. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then you have to catch yourself and be like, no, stop. This is just the equivalent of like over email and on AIM when there would be those messages that were like forwarded. If you don't like forward this message, you will not find love for 7 years or something. And you're like 10 years old and you're like, oh my God, I'll never find love. I mean, like, I'm sure it's fake, but it might not be. So like, I'm just going to forward it just in case. I mean, like, anyway, I feel like this is like this version of that. You're like, well, you like start to scroll past and you're like, well, I mean, maybe, if it's for me. I mean, like, it couldn't hurt. I guess if I just like watch it, I can see if it resonates. And then you're like, oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I am shouldering a burden. Mm-hmm, yeah, it sees me. Oh, there will be a huge shakeup in my love life. Oh yeah, your love is coming. I'm in like a happy relationship. Fully in love, and I'm like watching this video like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, no, what happened? I just want to play this one video. I'm gonna refresh it because I was like cracking up. Oh, come on.
When you don't have some, oh shit, where I'm from.
Fucking Jason Derulo. I mean, he's everywhere. He's literally, I mean, nobody has crushed TikTok like this guy. Okay, here we go.
This is Mona Fandy. Mona always wanted to be a pop star, but when that didn't work out, she turned to witchcraft.
But when that didn't work out, she turned to witchcraft. Always wanted to be a pop star, but when that didn't work out, she turned to witchcraft. I just feel like there are steps in between that you could take. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if being a pop star is not working out, you could make some money singing at local bars and churches, right? Okay, and then if you're done with singing completely, you could, I don't know, shift to pretty much anything else besides being a witch. Like, retail, nah. Office, corporate, being an assistant, working in accounting or marketing, nah. Nope. Going right to witchcraft. That's the job for me. I had nothing else to do, nothing in the world. So anyway, she turned to witchcraft, and then
Both Mona and her husband started offering their services to many elite customers.
okay, offering their services. So do you have like a business card that's like, I'll be your witch? Now offering witch services. This is also like recent. This is like in modern times. I'm not sure, maybe like 10 years ago. So this wasn't like when like you just practiced basic medicine and you were considered a witch because you were a woman, or like somebody's cow disappeared and you were a witch. Right? Like this is now the times where I guess, I mean, I don't know. Are there witches out there? I mean, I guess there's like modern versions of it or something. Anyway, I would have to guess that's not the witchcraft she's practicing. So we'll just continue.
And the duo became very successful in this business. That's when the couple was approached by a politician named Mazlan Idris. He wanted help with his campaign. Once Mona and her husband received payment, they invited Mazlan to their home for a black magic cleansing ritual.
I also just want to say that the girl telling this story looks dead in the eyes. I mean, I feel like she was possessed by a witch to do the video. What's going on? Am I being possessed?
And with the help of a couple assistants, they told Mazlan to lay down on the floor, close his eyes, and envision money falling from the sky. Then, without...
Nice, yeah. Because if I went into a stranger's home who recruited me for witchcraft, I would 100% lay down and close my eyes. Just bend over while you're at it. What?
Warning, the assistant chopped Mazlan's head off with an axe. Mona, her husband, and the assistant then dismembered and skinned his body. And 18 pieces were found on...
Yeah, so I do wonder about that part. Like, do you dismember first and then start to peel the skin? Or do you do like a full peel the skin and then start to chop it up, you know? I'm just a curious cat. I just want to know.
Mona's property in an outbuilding, buried in this storeroom. Some parts of the body were never found, and it was speculated that the trio ate them. While the murder itself is brutal, the
Nice! Eat 'em up! Eat 'em up!
creepiest part is the events that happened afterwards. Like and comment for part 2.
A classic move. Don't worry, I watched part 2, and all that happens in part 2 is that basically she keeps smiling for all the cameras. Like, she doesn't try to hide her face or anything once it's, you know, once they figure out it's her. Because basically, the assistant confessed. And she just smiles at the cameras like, she's the pop star she was always meant to be! Nuts. That's like that that show Outlander. I don't know if I'd recommend this show because I still get nightmares about this whole scene with... If you've watched the show, you'll probably know which I'm talking about. But all that torture when he's in the prison with that British... Oh, I can't even think about it. Anyway, but in Outlander, it's like the same thing. Like the main character's like, oh yeah, let me just go back in time. And then the thing starts singing. The Stones, sing me a song, la 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 la. Okay, and then she goes back in time, and then she just walks away from the Stones, and runs into somebody who's clearly from another time, and then just keeps traveling with them. And the whole time I'm like, why would you leave the spot from which you came? You would return to the spot. You would stay at the spot until whatever little magic just happened could take you back. Later, spoiler alert, if you're watching Outlander, don't listen to this. I mean, it's only in like the first season, so, you know, if you're okay, whatever. She gets a chance to go back and doesn't. That's right. She chooses to almost die of witchcraft in Outlander again. Okay, As an Outlander, also on TikTok, I have been to every corner. I have been to aliens, conspiracy theories, library or whatever it's called, TikTok, you know? The romantic academic or something, dark academia. We got through TikTok and we got through Outlander. We did it, and we got through January. January is almost over, friends. We are so close. So close. All right. Let us cover Wreck of the Week. Still can't sing it. Wreck of the Week, baby. Vaseline still. Always Vaseline. Gonna be Vaseline all winter long. I've got Vaseline on my lips, Vaseline on my eyelids, Vaseline on my eyebrows, under my nostrils. We are lathered up. When I go to bed, I slide off the pillow or stick to it, you know, depending on which material it is. When Lon comes close, he sticks, feels uncomfortable. Our faces slide. It's a tender moment. Vaseline. Wreck of the Week is also Lupin on Netflix. Great freaking show. It's in French, so you can feel cultured and watch it with the subtitles. It's so good. You must watch. You must watch. Other Wreck of the Week, those dicky turtlenecks. Those turtlenecks that are just a turtleneck and then it's cut off. Guys, it's a game changer. You didn't know how much you hated your regular turtlenecks until you put on a sixth of one. Because you put that baby over your head, and then you put a sweater on, or a sweatshirt, and you are suddenly not 200 degrees under there. You are at a comfortable temperature, and there's none of that bulking or whatever. You're done. You're done. And you got that cool retro, quotes, 90s look. And if you're like me, you know, from when you grew up and how you dressed as a 10-year-old, and now you can just wear it now as a 20-something. Game changer. Great. Check it out. And if you're like me and you're a millennial, you can wear it and know that it's cool, because I talked to my cousin Ava, shout out Ava, and she is like Gen Z, and she said that she was thinking about getting one. So if Ava's getting one, you're also getting one. You're welcome. You can get them on Amazon. All right, let's do it. It's time for advice. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's answer some questions. Okay. First up, Danielle B asks, I'm interested in starting a blog. Do you have any recommendations to get started and stay committed? Danielle, yes. First off, congratulations, and I'm so excited. Get excited about having this awesome idea. To hold yourself accountable and actually get going and get started and stick with it, I would recommend setting a deadline for yourself every week. And set whether, you know, number of posts, setting up the interface, blog, hosting site that it's on or whatever, and choosing photos, whatever, and get yourself to sticking to those deadlines. If you are having trouble sticking to those deadlines, or you think you might, which I am one of those people, I know that I need to have either a writer's group that I'm part of or a class that I'm taking, and I have taken many classes, and it's kind of the only way that I am forced to write every week. If you can't join a writer's group or take a class right now, then I would choose a person and maybe like have that friend be an accountability buddy, and then also maybe you could be an accountability buddy for them for something else. Maybe they're not starting a blog, but maybe they're working on something else or something for work, or, you know, or like a health goal, and you can be an accountability buddy for them, and then they can be an accountability buddy for you. And you can check in every week, and at that time you need to bring something in. Now, it's very easy I get stuck with this to be like, oh yeah, I'll just put it off. And you can't. If you make that weekly deadline, you know, as important as it can be, then you will stick with it and keep putting out content and making it happen. And I know you can do it. You're a star. Go get them. Jenna H asks, any tips for working out and sticking with it? Great question, Jenna. First off, I would say pretty similar to the blog thing, which is schedule it. You know, I have found during, even before COVID, when gyms were closed, that having a class or a live workout helps me because then it's scheduled into my calendar. So I would look for online live workouts if you can and find ones that work with your schedule. I really like Sid Fit. She does workouts 4 times a week, and that's at sidfitwellness.com. Sydney Miller. She's awesome and so motivating, but find one that works for you. And then you're held accountable because you've paid for it maybe, or you've, you know, you've signed up and it's like in your calendar. And then if not, then I would do some online videos or some workouts, you know, where you look it up and do it in your apartment, but schedule it. Like put it into your Google Calendar. This is what I do, is I put it into my Google Calendar and then that's the time I'm working out. And as like a double accountability, I also have a little habit tracker that I do. It's part of my plan book. And I like have workout video and I have Shred, which is the Sid Fit Wellness that I talked about. Those are her workouts. And I have those there and then I track each day so I can check off whether I did a Shred workout or I did like a Pilates or other online video. So, to recap, schedule it, shoot for live classes. If not a live class, then do an online video. Regardless, schedule it into your calendar. Another thing I would suggest, and this is not what you'll hear from most people, is that I plan to move or work out every single day. And I'll tell you why. Because if you plan it out like just 3 days a week, and then you take on your day off, you know, you end up having a pretty free day where you could have fit a workout in. And then the next day you're supposed to have your workout and then something last minute comes up and you can't work out, then you've lost a day. Do you know what I'm saying? So then you're like basically losing 2 days. Whereas like if you plan to do something every day, then if something last minute comes up or you have to keep working or like there's just a long day and you're really tired and you need to listen to your body, then, you know, you haven't like lost 2 days, you've just lost 1 day, if that makes sense. And also like you could do not just working out, but do like a long walk, right? So it could be like some days I do like a 30-minute Pilates video. Some days I do like, you know, a 45-minute walk. Some days I do like an intense HIIT workout. But it's just like making, you know, some days I run, it's too cold right now. But just like planning to do something each day, I think helps. That way it just becomes part of your body and you're like used to it. There. I hope that helps. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for coming back. I missed ya. And I hope you enjoyed the solo episode. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a review if you don't mind. It really means a lot to me. And I'm looking for more guests. If you or someone you know you think might be a good fit to be on my show, please reach out to me either over DM or over email. I'm at Charlotte Otremba, so, you know, on all the platforms. So just hit me up. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Stay safe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.